Blake Prophet, and the presentation that I'm going to do today is about getting ready and preparing for a garden. So the title that I have on my poster is Gardening is More Than Just Putting Seeds in the Ground. So the first thing is preparing the soil. So in January, early February, I'm going to start rototillering in my garden, breaking up the ground, getting it churned up so it's ready for the season. I'm working all the weeds out of it and things like that. And then the second thing is I get a soil sample every year. So that tells me what my ground is missing, if I have too much of something, if I have not enough. So when I get that back, I get a paper like this picture, and it shows me what I need in my garden and what I need less of. And if there's something that is wrong in my soil, it will suggest a fertilizer. So this one was, well, it's been 2 years, was the high yield calcium nitrate thing, which was for tomatoes. The blossom end rot and getting rots in your tomatoes. So that was one that I worked into my soil and stuff like that to get ready for the season. So that the sample really helps. And then the third thing is when I get the soil sample back, the fertilizer that it suggests, I'm going to go pick it up, and get what it tells me to, and read it over, and then spread it out in my garden. And it's usually an all year thing, so I put it out throughout the year. The second thing is what to plant. So the first thing is how much space you have. So that has to do with the rows, the rototillering, how much you want to plant in your garden, and so space is a really big thing. Second thing is what vegetables does my family like to eat. So you want to take that into consideration. What do you and your family like to eat, and that's what you want to plant in your garden. Then the third thing is what grows good in my area, and what have I been successful at in the past. So I'm not going to plant a bean that does good up north, but not in South Carolina. So that's a big thing too. If things don't grow good, then your crop will not prosper. You won't get anything out of it. Next thing is what is my budget? So things are pricey, and you want to get your best quality plants or seeds for the best price. The fifth thing is, do I want to plant seed or plants? So that kind of comes down to this section, and this is plants versus seeds. So the first thing is plants, and I have some good things about plants and a couple bad things. So the first good thing is a shorter growing time for harvest. So when you get a plant, it's going to be, already grown, probably past a seedling. And then easier to maintain, because they're going to, they're most likely healthy, and then third thing is cost, more per plant, so they're more expensive. And then the fourth thing is less variety to choose from, which is true. So that is a good thing about seeds. There's a larger variety to choose from and costs less per plant. But the two bad things is a longer growing time for harvest. When you get them, you have to plant them and then they have to, grow, and have to get above ground for them actually to start, growing out. And then the fourth thing is more maintenance to get healthy plants. The weeds is a thing. When they're real small, the seedlings, the weeds will choke them out very easily. So you have to keep an eye on that. Make sure all the weeds are away from them, so that you can get, things from your seeds. The thing about seeds is that a lot of the seed that you actually put in the ground is not going to make it. But there's a good side of that, because they have the seeds, and you put a lot in the ground, so you get enough. And then the next thing is ready for planting, which is a huge thing. How many rows do I need? So that goes with space. How many rows can you put in, but how many do you actually need for what you are wanting to plant? Second thing is measure my garden and divide the width of my garden by the number of rows I need. So you want to measure out your garden, make sure that, and see how many rows can actually fit, but fit enough where there's enough room for everything to grow and do well, so that they're not all up on top of each other. And then I make sure I have enough space between rows to get through with the tiller, to get the weeds out and take care of that kind of stuff. And then the number 4, I plan what I plant in each row according to how much sunlight and space the different kinds of plants need. So everything kind of goes with each other. Some things will choke out each other, so you want to make sure that everything kind of goes together. And then the strings, I use strings in my garden, which straightens the rows for everything to go good. So that is really important things that you need to do for your garden, and that's kind of what I wanted to focus on. I have had fun doing the poster and fun doing the presentation contest. Thank you.